we've told you about Mick Mulvaney. He was the director of the Office of Management and Budget. He is massively for tax cuts for the rich, says it all the time. Oh, that tax plan winds up raising taxes on the middle class and the poor. Oops, did we do that? What a coincidence. Well, that wasn't enough for Mick Mulvaney, so he wants to move over to Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and Donald Trump has appointed him as the acting director, even though technically and legally he's not supposed to be the acting director. By law, the acting director is the deputy director, so they made a mess of it. It's an absolute constitutional nightmare. But why have they gone through these extra lengths and potentially illegal acts to get Mulvaney into that bureau? Because it's in the name. It's supposed to protect consumers, and they don't want that. Mulvaney in the past has called it a sick, sad joke. This agency he has come in to destroy, and has authored legislation to completely eliminate the agency. So he is there to destroy the agency, not to run it. And we told you in a recent TYT Investigates report that according to the data maintained by the Center for Responsive Politics, Mulvaney's $31,700 in donations puts him ninth on the list of members of Congress receiving donations from the payday loan industry, taking in more money than almost all House representatives and all but 2 senators. So he is owned by the payday loan industry. Among the biggest contributors to his campaigns, by the way, also takes money from giant banks, also regulated by the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and that's why he'd like to destroy it, because his donors are not happy with it. In fact, one of those payday loan companies, as we reported to you earlier, told Donald Trump, we want you to intercede on our behalf about a month ago when the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau set laws that would protect consumers against these payday lenders. And now the Trump administration is interceding. Now the new report is that it turns out Mulvaney's chief of staff recently resigned, and you're not gonna believe where he's going to work. It turns out he's now a lobbyist for the payday loan industry. Wow. Look, their corruption is so brazen. Trump ran against the swamp, and now they're taking pictures of them swimming through the swamp, having a good time, having a party, having drinks inside the swamp. So let me tell you about this particular corner of the swamp. Al Simpson, reportedly, he was the former chief of staff to Mulvaney, reportedly got Mulvaney into politics as a South Carolina state legislator and served as Mulvaney's chief of staff from 2010 through January of this year, shortly before Mulvaney left Congress to take the helm at the Office of Management and Budget. That month, Simpson became a managing director of Washington lobbying powerhouse Mercury Public Affairs. I wonder what Mercury Public Affairs is gonna get paid to do. Well, let's find out. As Jonathan Larson reports at TYT Investigates, since then Simpson has registered as a lobbyist for 7 companies, 3 of which are financial firms. One of those firms is Harpeth Financial Services, a payday lender which does business as Advance Financial. So he is, of course, hard at work trying to protect not consumers, but the payday lenders that are ripping them off. Simpson's registration form lists only a single issue on which he anticipated lobbying for Harpeth, and that is Consumer Financial Protection Bureau reform. Then he calls up his former boss, goes, hey, I got a great idea. Why don't you just take over the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau and light it on fire? And then that way the lobbyists, well, he's the lobbyist. The companies that are paying me to lobby will get a great return on investment. And by the way, look, you'll see how much he got paid. In the month afterward, according to Mercury's most recent disclosure form, Harpeth paid $10,000 for Simpson to lobby Congress and the Office of Administration about Consumer Financial Protection Bureau reform. And look at how easily and cheap that they're bought. So the former chief of staff of Mulvaney goes and becomes a lobbyist, gets paid $10,000, and he's like, okay, we're not protecting consumers, that's for sure. Okay, they're trying to pass rules against payday lenders. Payday lenders, which are basically modern loan sharks. Their interest rates are in the hundreds of percents, over 300% interest rates. It's preposterous, it's insane. There used to be laws against that at the state level, there are still laws against that. But they pay off national congressmen like Mulvaney, who then go into the administration, and their lobbyists. They pay them campaign contributions. Mulvaney, $31,000, that's all it took to buy him. The amount of money that is involved is billions of dollars. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau returned $12 billion to you guys because of fraudulent schemes that banks and other financial institutions ran. They were so fraudulent that even with their army of lawyers, the bank said, yeah, you got us. Okay, here's $12 billion back. That's how they protected you at the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau. Now, you pay off Mulvaney with $30,000, you pay off his chief of staff with $10,000, and they come in and they destroy the place. That's the battle plan. One last thing, every once in a while you'll hear conservatives or Republicans say, no, it's okay, we have full transparency. No, we tell you who we're getting bribed by and then it's up to the voters, right? No, there is no transparency here. Simpson's form that he's supposed to fill out as a lobbyist did not disclose that he used to serve as chief of staff to Mulvaney. Although the Lobbying Disclosure Act requires lobbyists to disclose past work for members of Congress, Simpson's position as chief of staff is not listed even on forms filed for other clients disclosing he was lobbying Mulvaney's Office of Management and Budget directly. So no, there's no transparency. They take the legalized bribes, they put it in their pockets, and then they turn around and they don't tell you about it. And then they pretend that they're honest actors. And all of television goes, oh, there's a debate about what to do with the Protection Bureau. There's is financial regulation helpful to consumers? Or is deregulation the way to go? Maybe if we let the banks have no rules at all and consumers have no protection at all, that might help the consumers. I don't know, it's an honest debate. It's not an honest debate. We legalize corruption in this country. wolf-pac.com to get the money out. You need to pass an amendment. Otherwise, these legalized criminals are gonna come in and rob you. And that's what they're trying to do by destroying this agency. So at least we caught Al Simpson, even though he did not do what was required by the law in telling you who he actually worked for. So now, armed with that information, you at least understand what is going on here and the scam that's being played. And if you voted for Trump, thinking that he was going to protect you from the global financial elites, they're laughing their ass off at you. The head of Goldman Sachs is now the top economic advisor for Donald Trump. His Treasury Secretary worked for Goldman Sachs. He's got about 5 people in the West Wing that were from Goldman Sachs. These payday lenders have now come in and bought off the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, and they are laughing at you as we speak. You won't get any more protection. Unfortunately, with no cops on the street, particularly on Wall Street, the robbers are about to go wild. You just watched a video by the Young Turks, the home of the revolution. If you'd like to get the full show, come join us and become a member. TYTnetwork.com/join.